Good day and welcome to SCO BRICS Insight. Today I'd like to talk about Africa. In just over 2 weeks' time, BRICS will expand by another 5 or perhaps 6 nations, depending on whether Argentina decides to join. 2 of those nations are African, Ethiopia and Egypt. Now this is important for the continent of Africa, as it brings the contingent of African countries from 1 up to 3 and will encompass almost a third of the membership of BRICS. Now, this gives Egypt and Ethiopia, alongside South Africa, a major voice in what is becoming a major global forum for economic development. BRICS, as now with its expansion, will have over 1/3 of the world's GDP and about 40% of its population. Now, given the membership of Ethiopia and Egypt, that has spurred around another dozen African countries who wish to join. And you can understand why. They can see the positive benefits of being involved in BRICS and how it can enhance their economic development. Now, last summer in Moscow, there was a major African summit hosted by the Russians, where they talked about various developments that they wish to see and they wish to implement. Now, some African countries already work quite closely with members of the BRICS within the OPEC Plus, for example. Mozambique, Angola and Nigeria are members of either OPEC or OPEC Plus, and Russia being a member of OPEC Plus, Saudi Arabia, member of BRICS, is a member of OPEC, as Brazil has recently joined. So they already have a voice, and from what I understand, Nigeria is very keen to join the BRICS. Let's see what happens there. Other African countries, particularly those of the Economic Community of West African States, Mali, Burkina Faso and Niger, have broken away from their former colonial masters of France and are looking to develop relationships with other countries that can help their development. And Russia is at the forefront alongside China in looking to help them to do that. Now, this is great news for Africa and great news for the global South in general. As we see, as BRICS' standing grows on the global stage, this can only benefit them from an economic and political perspective. For many years, they have just been seen as resource sources for the major powers of the West. Whereas Lavrov, the foreign minister of Russia, said recently he would like to implement plans which would allow Africa to further develop its resources into finished and semi-finished goods for export, so enhance their economies. So more of the revenue that's generated by those resources is actually kept at home to develop their economies, and with that will further develop the lifestyle and living standards of their population. Now, from the perspective of Russia and China, given that they are under pressure from, particularly Russia, from other parts of the world due to sanctions, etc., the trade with Africa and development with Africa offers them opportunities to work with these countries and for mutual benefit. I mean, Russia currently is giving away some 250,000 tons of wheat to some of the poorer nations of Africa, and the fertilizer obviously will be going there too to enhance their agricultural production. So from the perspective of the Global South, membership of the BRICS is something that they do aspire to. Now, things have been changing in Africa, particularly the African Union has managed to pull a lot of the countries together in a coherent format. African Union has recently been invited to join the G20 as I think it's observer status that it has, etc. And I think that with the African Union being present at the last Johannesburg summit, I think it will probably be welcomed at the next BRICS summit, which takes place in Kazan in Russia under the chairmanship of Russia. Now, I read from the various press, etc., that the Russians are very keen to work closely with the African Union and to develop the relationship further to see what multilateral trade can be done between that as an organization and its member countries, and to facilitate a deeper and more meaningful economic relationship. Given the fact that Africa has quite often and in the past just been exploited, this is a positive development for the countries of Africa. Now, obviously, this will cause consternation in the West as they see China and Russia attempting to buy political influence on these countries, which are important. I mean, for example, Niger is a major producer of uranium, and it's recently stopped providing that uranium to France, which has caused France some difficulties in where it will be able to source further supplies of uranium. And within countries like Mali, Russia is now building a new gold refining plant, which will allow them to actually refine their ore and rather than shipping everything out for refining elsewhere, which again will allow them to financially benefit from the situation. So all in all, BRICS for Africa can only be a major boost to the African Union, to the trade agreements that they are trying to set up across the nation, but also to dealing with Russia, China, Brazil, and with the countries now who joined from the Middle East, such as Saudi Arabia and the United Arab Emirates. Now, they are countries that are financially rich and are always looking for opportunities for investment, and certainly that the countries of Africa have wonderful opportunities for investment in their infrastructure and in their industrial capacity, where they can utilize a lot of the resources that they have in the country rather than just exporting resources. So we shall see how it develops, but it's certainly a major positive sign for Africa that, you know, the focus is now on them by the BRICS, and they're looking to expand there, and that can only benefit both the countries who are currently members of BRICS and the countries who aspire to be members of BRICS. So I hope you've enjoyed this short video. Please click on like and subscribe, and if you're interested in the stories that I've been discussing, they are all on our website, which is SCOBRICSinsight.com, where I will provide links at the bottom of this video, where you can go and read in depth about what's really going on in the world of the BRICS and how it affects Africa. Thank you, and I'll see you again soon.